Okay, now we are going to start the lecture. If you have any queries, you can ask in the end of the session when we will have 10 minutes left. I will allow you to ask. Okay. Okay. So let me give you some instructions first. Do not disturb the participants and teacher during the lecture and listen the lecture very carefully. You are not allowed to leave during the lecture, so sit properly with your maths book, rough copy, and stationery box. If you have any queries, you may note them down on a paper and ask questions in the end of the lecture. And some other instructions are that if there is any disconnectivity due to the power failure or anything from our end, you are not allowed to leave. You must you must connect again after 10 minutes. Okay, so now we are going to start the presentation or the class. Okay, so if you have anything you want to ask, you can ask in the chat box as well. Now I am going to start. Let me just type something um, for those who can't hear me. Just wait a bit. Okay, so this is lesson number 2.5, and the textbook page number is 42, and questions are 1 to 7. Okay, so if okay, so wait a bit. Those students who are joining without name, they must write their name while joining and the class as well. Okay, let me admit all the students. Okay, now starting the lecture. Okay, so it is chapter number 2, exercise 2.5, lesson number 2, textbook page number 42, 127 questions. And now moving forward, the topic which we are going to focus today is radicals and square root. Radicals and square root of a positive number and properties of positive square root. So the first thing is, how can I move it? Okay. The concept of radicals and square root of a positive number, our first topic of focus is. So first of all, knowing that concept of radicals and square root, first we have to know that what square roots exactly are. So positive real number, you have already known about the positive real numbers. I have told you in yesterday's class as well. Real numbers are those is the combination of rational and irrational number. You have already known about this term. So now we are going to talk about this term, which is square root. You are well aware of that as well. But let me tell you again, square roots actually is the opposite of the squared. For example, if I square 4, if I'm squaring 4, 4 means 4 means that if I square over here, so 4 fours are 16. So it means that the square of a 4 is 16 and the square root of 16 means opposite of it is 4. So I hope you understand that whenever we square a number, we get the squared number, and whenever we go back towards the number, it becomes the number itself. So here there is another 3. So 3 is 9 is the square root of 3, and 3 is the square root of 9. So whenever we have to get the square, it means that we have to multiply that number with itself two times and we got the square. And when we have to get the square root, it means that we just do the opposite. Okay. Now moving forward, the second thing which we were talking about here is the concept of radicals and square root. So I have discussed the square root and what are radicals. Now we are moving towards the radicals. Okay. Okay, radicals. So in mathematical language, we can say that whenever there is a square root over 16, square root of 16 is 4. Yeah, square root of 9 is 3. So the square root, the sign over here, which is written as a square root, is called as radical sign. So you have also understood that this sign which is used to denote the square root is called as radical, and the number which is written inside, like 16 is written inside the radical sign, so this 16 is called as radicand. Okay. Okay, I hope you all are listening my voice. I'm talking. Okay, now coming back towards the topic. So radicals, I have already told you about square roots, radicals. So the concept of radicals and a square root of a positive real number, you have already understood what the meaning of this topic is. Now we are moving towards the actual thing, which is okay. So there were radicands, and here are some examples of the radicand, which is like this sign, which is the sign of the square root, or you can say the radical sign, and q is written under it. So this radical sign is the radical sign or square root we can say, or this q where we can say that it is radicand. So there are other examples as well. This sign is radical sign, which is square root, and the inside number is called as radicand. So there are other examples as well. You can see. Okay, parts of radicals. This is radical symbol, as I have already told you, radical sign, and inside number is radicand. But there are other things as well, which is in outside of the radical sign, which is this symbol, which is called as index, and that whole thing is called as radical. Okay. Okay. Now moving towards another thing, which is principal square root. Okay. So what is principal square root? You have already learned about square roots. You have already learned about radical signs. Now we are moving towards square roots. Was it principal square roots? What principal square roots are? Positive square roots are called principal square roots. This is the general definition of the principal square root. But exactly what exactly is the meaning of this definition? It means that whenever we have any square root, for example, this is under root 16. So this is a square root, which is square root and 16 written over here, it under root 16. So the answer to it can be positive 4 or can be negative 4. How come is that possible? That whenever we multiply 4 multiply by 2 or take the square of 4 square, we get 16. So under root square is equals to plus 4, we can say. But whenever there is a minus sign with the 4, so minus 4 multiplied by 4, or if we get the square of minus 4, so minus minus is plus, and 4 multiplied by 4 is 16. So we have got 16 over here. So in either case, if you are going to square with the plus sign or the minus sign, you are going to get the 16. Okay. So it means that principal square root means that in general form we write this under root 16 as a positive, but the result to it can be plus 4 or can be minus 4. Alright, I hope you understand. For example, if we can see this example, so 2 is with a positive sign, where there is no sign, this means it is positive. So positive 2 multiplied by positive 2 would get 4, and negative 2 multiplied by negative would also get 4. So this 4 would be positive. Okay? So either we are going to take the square root of, either we are going to square a positive number or a negative number. In each case, we are going to get the positive 4. So it means that uh, this is called as principal square root. Why? Because this is positive in either case. Okay, now moving forward, there are some properties of the square root. Property number one is that under root a is equals to some number which is not under root, obviously. Or in other words, we can say that if there is a without the under root, so we have to square the other side like this. Okay? We will also understand the we will also understand these properties with examples like this. Okay? So we will solve the questions and we will go one by one. But let me tell you these properties in one go. Under root a is equals to a, under root b under a under root b, any different numbers under the root is equals to under root ab. It means that we don't have to take under root, it means that we have different under root a, different under root b, but we can write it along one under root if they are in multiplication form. Okay, in division, under root a divided by under root a, they can be cancelled with each other, so the answer would be 1. Under root a, divided by under root a is equals to under root a. So it means that whenever there is such case where the number is same, but in numerator there is no under root and in denominator there is under root, so we get this as a numerator and there won't come any denominator or would be 1. Okay, we will discuss it in detail while solving the question. Okay, under root a divided by a is equals to 1 over under root a. Under root a divided by under root b is equals to 1 under root under, and there is a over b. Same as we were doing in multiplication, when there is two numbers which are the product or multiplying with each other, so we can write them under 1 under root. So like that in division as well, if we have two numbers which are dividing with each other under different roots, we can write them under one root. Okay. Now the last one is a under root b plus c under root b. So whenever there are two numbers which are under root and and there are different numbers over here or same number, it doesn't matter, and they are in plus form, so a would be added to c and under root b would come one time. Now we are going to understand these all properties of square root one by one with the help of examples. Okay. Okay, this is property number one which we have studied, that under root a is equals to x. Whenever there is a number under the root, there must be another number which we get after getting the after cancelling the square over it, and it would get a single number like this. For example, if we have under root 169 under the root, so if we would able to get two numbers which are going to multiply with each other to get 169, this is the rough work. You can see that 169, 13, 13 are 169, 13 ones are 13, so there are 13 multiplied by 13. So in this manner, we would get to know that 13 multiplied by 13 is equals to 169. So we are going to write it under root. So 13 would come as it is, and square would be there because there are two same numbers which are multiplying together. So this would 13 multiplied by 13. Okay. Okay, so 13 multiplied by 13, so we will going to have square over 8. But whenever we solve the square root has a value of 2. Where there is no index, as I have told you that this sign, let me tell you again. This sign is called as index. Okay, this sign. So whenever there is no sign over here, no number over here, so it means there is 2. There must be, this must be called as a square root. Okay, so when we change the value of a square root, it would get 1 upon 2. If there would have been 3, so the value of the root would become 1 over 3. So it would become cube root. Okay, so it depends on the number over here. If there is no number, it means it would become half while taking the square and while removing it. Okay, what we can do to remove it, we can write square half of it over here. Why would we would write half? Why we would write half? Let me tell you first that. Uh, okay, like uh, like this. Okay, if we are going to multiply 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, so the square root of 4 would be 2. And the square root of 2 is 4. So whenever we multiply 2 by itself, we would get 4. But when we would half the 4, we would get 2. So in this example, whenever we have a square root over here, we would take the half value of that. Okay? So wherever there is 2, there is 13 multiplied by 13 becomes 13 square, and we have converted this root into half. So we will cancel this 2 by this 2. Why? Because we are applying power of a power which we have learned yesterday. In power of a power, if there is power inside the bracket and outside the bracket, what do? We multiply them together. So 13 square multiplied by half. Okay? So 2 ones are 2. 2 is going to be cancelled by 2. So it would become 13. So under root 169 becomes 13 like that. Okay? So it would become, it would clear the property that under root a is equals to x. Okay, question number 2 is exactly same as question number 1. I have told you, I have described question number 1 of exercise 2.5 and 2.5, and for that you have to do question number 2 on your own, which is exactly the same. Okay, now moving towards property number 2. Property number 2 was under root 8 multiplied by under root a is equals to a. So under root a multiplied by under root a is equals to a. So there is a question over here that what if there is under root 12 multiplied by under root 12? So it would definitely comes as 12. So but we are going to prove that property. So we have to solve it. Under root 12 multiplied by under root 12. So it would become under root 12 multiplied by 12. Yeah, 12 is square. How can we know that? We know that by the property that wherever we have in multiplication, two bases are there. It means they can come under one root. So under one root, 12 multiplied by 12, 12 is square. 12 is square. Whenever we have to replace this under root, we replace it with the help of half. Okay? So cut down the 2 by 2, it would become 12. So under root 12 multiplied by under root 12 is equals to 12, as under root a multiplied by under root a is a. Now moving forward, property number 3. Property number 3 is under root a multiplied by under root b is equals to under root ab. How we can solve them? Let's see the question number 4, which is under root 16 multiplied by under root 12. So it means that whenever there are two numbers which are multiplying together, we can write them under one root. So we have written like that. Now we will take the factors. We will take the we can multiply them together and take the factors like this. 16 multiplied by 12 is 192, and 192 has these factors, so we can write them as this. But number 2 is that we can take the factors of 16, take the factors of 12 and write them together like this. So it would be same. Okay? Whenever we have square, so we can write 2 square, 2 square, 2 square and 3 as it is. So it would become 2 would be cancelled by half. If there is under root and there are multiple elements under it, For example, this 2 square, this 2 square, this 2 square has this under root. So under root means power of half. So 2 would be cancelled by that half. So cancelling half by 2, we would get 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3. And 3 would get the power of half. Power of half means under root. Okay? So there was under root, and 2 multiplied by 2, 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8. Understood? I hope you are getting what I am saying. Okay, question number 5 is exactly as question number 4. So you can do it in your practice copy. Okay, I am not saying that you have to write all the things in fair copy. I will tell you some questions. I will mark some questions, get you mark some questions which you will have to write in your fair copy in the end of the chapter. But for now, you are going to do all the work into the practice copy, because you know that in maths there is practice which is needed. But when we will end the chapter, I will tell you which questions would go into the fair copy. Okay. Now property number 4. Property number 4 is under root a divided by under root a is equals to 1. So if we have a question like that, under root 15 divided by under root 5. So what do we say? We say that we can cancel them up. So cancelling them, 5 1 the 5, 5 3 is a 15, we would get the answer of under root 3. Okay, someone has asked me that is it summer vacation homework. Ali Meher. No, it is not summer vacation. This is your regular classes which are going on. You have to do it in your practice copy for now, but I will tell you which work you would have to done in your fair copy at the end of the chapter. Okay, question number 7 is exactly same as the question number 6, so you can do it on your own. Now moving forward on property number 5. A divided by under root A. Okay, those students who are asking my name, I am math teacher from IMS school. So please don't ask ridiculous questions. Abdul Hadi is asking that lecture is to be done in fair copy. I have already told you that no, you don't have to do all the things in fair copy. You have to do all the things in practice copy. And at the end of the chapter, I will tell you that which questions would go into the fair copy. Okay, so don't worry about them. Only do that. Do all the practice in your practice copy. Okay. I will repeat the properties as well at the end of the topic who are asking. Okay, property number 5 was a divided by under root a. So is equals to under root a. So there is a question over here, 18 divided by under root 18. So 18 divided by under root 18, if we have to convert it into this form, the same number without under root in the numerator and the same number under root in the denominator. How we would deal with it? We will multiply it by under root 18 divided by under root 18. How? Why? Because anything which is to be multiplied multiplied in the to the numerator is to be multiplied in the denominator as well. Okay, so 18 multiplied by under root 18, it would go like that, and under root 18 multiplied by under root 18, it would go like that. Why? Because in product we write under one under root. Okay, so 18 multiplied by 18 would be 18 square. 18 multiplied by under root 18 would go like that. Okay, now Bisma Mukit is asking that I have done everything into the rough copy, but IBIS message has come to do the work in fair copy. You can do all the work in fair copy for other subjects, but for maths, I am telling you that you have to do all the activity, because there are a lot of questions which you have to do. In maths, practice is very important, so you have to do all the thing in practice copy for now. I will tell you those questions which you will be done will you have to done in your fair copy. Okay, so don't worry about them. I am telling you do the all work in practice copy for now. Okay, 18 multiplied by under root 18, as we have seen previously, 18 multiplied by under root 18 divided by under root 18. So under root 18 square means square is going to be cancelled with the square root, and 18, just a second. Okay, so there is 18 under root 18 divided by 18. So 18 would be cancelled by 18, and under root 18 is the answer. What you will have to do, you will have to solve it furthermore. 18, you have to take the factors of the 18 and write it over here. 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 3. 3 3s are 9. So 3 square. You have to write it 3 square over here. So this root would be cancelled by 3 square. Okay, but in 2 there is a square root because there is no square on the 2 which have to be cancelled, so 2 would come as it is, and this square root would cancel only the 3 square, so it would become 3 would go outside of the square and 2 has a square on it, so this would be the answer. Property number 7 was under root a divided by under root b equals to a upon b under same under root. So if we see the question number 9, there is 2 under root 28 divided by under root 7. But this property tells us that if there are 2 under root over a and over b, you have to write these in same in same under root. So 2 would come as it is, and 28 divided by 7. So 7 ones are 7, 7 fours are 28. So 2 under root 4 would come. Moving forward, sorry, 2 under root 4 was there. So taking the factors of 4, 2 to the 4. So 2 under root 2 square. So this square would come like that. We cancel the square root with the square. So it would become 2 multiplied by 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is equals to 4. Okay. Okay. So moving forward with the property number 6, which was under root a divided by a is equals to 1 over under root a. I have told you property number 7 first, and now I am telling you property number 6, which I missed. Okay. So property number 6 was under root a divided by a is equals to 1 over under root a. So this is the question, and this is the question which I have framed for you. This is the example. Under root 18 divided by 18. So we will have to convert it into this form. How can we convert it into this form? We will multiply it with the under root 18 divided by under root 18. So it would become 18 multiplied by 18 under one root, and 18. This doesn't has root, so it would come as it is, and this has root, so this would come with the root. So 18 multiplied by under root 18. So 18 multiplied by 18 would come 18 square, which can be cancelled by the square root divided by 18 under root 18. So 18 under root 18 would become, okay, so this has come cancelled the square, so it is 18, and 18 over 18 under root 18. So there is 18 and there is 18 left. So 18 can be cancelled by 18, and the answer would be 1 upon under root 18. All right, moving towards the last property, which is the easiest property of all, a under root b plus c under root b. So what is has to be done? We have to write the under root one time, which has the same numbers or same radicand, and we will write a plus b like that. So 3 under root 5 plus 8 under root 5, it has same radicand. So we will write it only one time under root 5, and 3 plus 8 would be there. So 3 plus 8 is 11, and this is under root 5 as it is. Question number 2 is exactly same as. I am going to end today's session. So take care. I will see you tomorrow at the same time. Be on time, be punctual, and follow the rules. Okay. Allah Hafiz.